rights, particularly if Director General, 48 hours and not an hour more, within which to fully obey and comply with the release order of the court in favor of all the 12 detained associates of Sunday Igboho, or face contempt proceedings before a court of competent jurisdiction with full weight and recompense of court brought to bear against his insolence and disregard of court order. Take notice that we will not fail to exhaust all legal and social remedy available to the detainees in enforcing their rights in this matter, setting the tone against the SSS notorious disregard of due process and rule of law. Gentlemen of the press, it has become apparent that the SSS has developed a very terrible psychology of disrespecting the laws of the land, disregard for the Constitution, disrespect for the courts. And this is an affront on our judicial system. This is an affront on the democratic system we believe to practice. And this is an affront on the nation itself. In view of this, we have communicated to all social forces, and we are calling on all Nigerians, we are calling on all
just a slight break in transmission. We'll be back with them shortly. Just bear with us. Musuru, just there's a break in transmission. We'll be back with you all shortly. Good morning to you. Karo Wole, Oduduwa, Ashewa.
Karo, Mr. Iwa Eshe.
Karo. Yes, those of you watching us on Oduduwa TV Radio, Citizen AY, please bear with us. The link broke. We'll be doing everything we can to bring that link back on as quickly as we can. Just bear with us. Hope you can hear us. Can you hear me? Hope you can hear me. Okay, let me just do something quickly. I don't know. Can you hear me? Hello, those of you on Oduduwa TV Radio, this message is for you all. Just bear with us. We're waiting to reestablish the link, and once we do, we will come back on. We're just waiting for the link to come back on, and we should be able to share that with you. Just bear with us. There might be another way to do this if it doesn't work. There is always a second way around things. Let's just bear with it. 1 second, please.
And show due regard to all law. This was a granted bill. But the DSS has refused to release them for reasons best known to them. And we want to say this: beyond go proceeding with the contempt proceedings against the DSS, we are very, very sure and certain that Nigerians, particularly the Yoruba people who feel they have been oppressed under this government, will mobilize in no distant time for a very serious revolution, for a very serious protest to liberate Nigerians, to liberate this country for the ends of spiritless entities who believe they can act with them. And that is the reason we invited you.
It's coming and going. Beg your pardon. We'll get it back.
This has demonstrated arrogant disrespect for our rule of law. This is not the first time that the DGO, the SSS, has shown utter disrespect for court order. There is no land where democracy is practiced that there is flagrant disregard for the law, flagrant disregard for the Constitution, flagrant disregard for the court, and it appears nothing is happening. We are tired of this situation, and that is the reason we invited you here. Thank you very much.
In your statement, or in your
You said this is not the first time the DSS is active. Nigerians will recall that this is the same DSS refused to obey the court order discharging an afflicted Sheikh Ibrahim Zazaki in 2016, 2018.
Customary thing for the SSS to show utter disregard for our law. But we also understand very well that the DGDSS is also a citizen which is also binded by this law. By after 48 hours, if DSS refuse to respect the court order, we will proceed with the contempt proceedings against the DG of DSS. We shall ensure that the court commits the DG DSS to prison. We want it to taste prison and see how the liberty of citizens should be taken very, very important. And as a matter of fact, if the DG DSS does not sleep in prison for 2 or 3 days, there is no way it can recognize the importance of liberty. There's no way it can recognize the importance of freedom. These people have been in the DSS facility for 2 months now. The lady among them has been sleeping on the floor. She has not been allowed to change address. She's been undressed publicly in the front of other male detainees. This is shameful. This is torture. And this is an affront on our law. And we cannot take it again. And that is why we call on Nigerians not to joke about this thing. And I mean, if you look at what's going on in this country, it is very, very clear that there's misplaced of priority in the business of government, because the government of the day is afflicted with lots of troubles that is even beyond these 12 detainees who have no record of crime, have no record till today. The DSS we are talking about has not been able to prefer a charge against these people, and that is what we are saying. If you think you have anything against them, take them to court, charge them to court. That is our basic demand. And if they cannot charge them to court, they should release them according to court order, according to the court order. And that's our position.
Hello, sir. My name is Mohammed. The judiciary as a body, what are they doing to fight for their life? Because it seems as if they bark, but they can bite. Because as a body, they should be able to fight for the liberty of every citizen of the country. Like you said, they've not been charged. There's nothing to fight against them. Don't you think the judiciary at this point, forgetting about you being the defendant or the should come together and fight for the laws of the land, for the rights of the citizen? That's what I'm asking.
I think I must tell you honestly that the best opportunity for Nigerians to understand that the judiciary, and of course, importantly, the constitution is supreme to all, is this particular issue in concern. I want you to know that the judiciary is actually independent. It's independent, though we understand that the executive is doing all it can to muzzle the judiciary, like something like the event we're seeing now. But we can assure you that by after 48 hours, when the SSS, after which the SSS refused to release this people, we shall proceed with contempt proceedings, and it shall happen, it will take place in an open court. And I can assure you without doubt that the DGDSS will be committed to Koji. And this is very important, because the reason is because the laws of the land are very, very clear. You see, you have to respect order of court. And it's of great concern to me as well. And that is why we are using this opportunity. Tomorrow, by Monday, we'll be writing a very important letter to our critical stakeholders in the judiciary, and particularly the Nigerian Bar Association. Because the Nigerian Bar Association is a critical stakeholder in ensuring that the rules of law, is respected in the country. We cannot continue in a country where the court will be giving out orders and the order will be disrespected. at any point in time that the order of court is disrespected, it renders the powers of the court useless, and it's very, very shameful. This is the reason why all of these actions must be taken. We are here to inform Nigerians that by the special grace of God, that the DGDSS may be a candidate for Kuje by next week if these people are not released. And we are not joking about this matter because the laws are very clear. We are even willing to test the law. We understand that we will be hearing information from some people that we will have problems serving the DGDSS and we will map out our plan. But we will also appeal to the SSS in the interest of justice, in the interest of liberty of these people who have been unjustly detained in their facility, and in their own interest to release these people peacefully so that they can reunite with their families. These people are innocent. These people have no crime on their head. These people have no criminal record. And the SSS also has not been able to even mention a single offense against them in court. And that is why we are demanding for their liberty. That's why we are demanding for their freedom. And it is also important to inform us that this affects every citizen of Nigeria. Today it is 12/8 of Sunday Igboho. Tomorrow it can be another person. It was in news yesterday that there was an attempt to trample on one of the very important TV stations in this country because we have a government that is deliberately angry about freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and these are things that we are worried about. And that is the reason we've called on Nigerians, we call on the entire world to ensure that this matter is not taken lightly.
So lastly, just to round up, we've been hearing, if you can hear it, try, because my husband explained for citizens that the 8th of Sunday will have filed a fundamental rights against DSS. That's probably the reason they're keeping them. Any clarity on that?
That's not an excuse. I can tell you that I'm actually the lawyer in this matter, and these are the team of legal practitioners working in the matter. Of course, there are other lawyers also, but we are all working as a team. There is no such process that is before the SSS. And be that as it may, the question and the issue before us right now is that there is a subsisting court order. I mean, if there's a subsisting court order, you cannot take that away, regardless of the fact that the DSS is claiming that some people have instituted a matter. We are not aware of that matter. But what we are saying is that there is a subsisting court order, and that order is an order of release, and DSS is bound to respect it, and that is our demand.
What point, where exactly
Yeah, I can't specifically give you date right now, but as I speak to you, the release warrant has been served on the DSS. As at Monday this week, we have perfected all the bail conditions, and my Lord has signed the release warrant. So what we expect, what is SSS still doing from Monday to Friday, that you cannot release these people? And what kind of administrative procedure are they going through that they cannot release them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? This country cannot continue like that. Can you permit some of my colleagues to addendum?
We've changed the mic. Move the
Right. Look, our demand is very simple. That the DSS must obey the court order and they must release these people. Because in the eyes of the court, having gotten their release order by the court, they are now a free man in the eyes of the court who is entitled to the benefits of the Constitution, particularly with respect to their liberty. And that cannot be done with. The DSS has responsibility to respect the rule of law and the order of the court, and that must be protected by all.
Yes, have you been sent with the notice of appeal? Because they said that they appealed the ruling of the court.
Yet the fact is this: whether there is an appeal or not, there is a substituting order of the court, which is bound to be obeyed. So until DSS actually comply with the order of the court, as a matter of fact, if you are in a breach of the order of the court, you have no right to hold this before that court.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
Into you.
today that CCTV is online from here and we are part of what is going on, right from source and sure. So what is going on? Because I think the federal is that Africa and like the stage, also on the GTV services. Okay, let's about that. Let you know and also say bye, why, and see we have other things to be using. Thank you for your time. There you go.
You know, I was like this, and I could not stand in your front. That's why I did that other one. So I could wasn't restricted there. So I could zoom out.
Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching. It's over. Yes, it is. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. That was the broadcast. It was a sudden broadcast, so we are trying to give you. We had to bring you an update on what was happening. That was straight from Abuja. The 12 are still being held. Basically, the lawyers have come out to explain and state clearly that they are not in any way happy with the DSS and the government, because they are failing to comply with the judgment of the court. They are failing to comply with the judgment of the court, and that is the fact. That's the fact of the matter. I do apologize that you cannot see my face now, but because we were in the broadcast, we had to come out, and that meant that the technicalities of the technicalities of it means that we cannot give you my face right now. But please do bear with us. What we are essentially telling you all is this: the DSS have made it themselves the judge and jury in this case, even though there is a judge who has presided and decided that the 12 should receive bail with immediate effect. The DSS have decided, taking it upon itself to ignore the ruling. I state, the DSS has taken it upon itself to ignore the ruling of the court. It has now made itself the judge and jury, which means what happened yesterday with the Decree 4, the echoes of Decree 4, whereby they called Chamberlain Uso, Kayode Okikiola, and Maokpa Ogun. They called them into the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, and they're trying to silence the voice of the press. Now the people, it's the 12 that have been illegally detained by this government. Who next? The question we should be asking ourselves is, who next? Who next is going to be detained without any due process? And that is the key word. The key word that I want you all to take away from this is, where is the due process? You had lawyer Pelumi saying it. Now, I am not a lawyer, but what I do know is that when we talk about our rights, this is what we are saying. This government is proving to us time and time and again that they do not comply with the rule of law. I want you all to know that it is looking more and more like the laws that are within that constitution, that fraudulent constitution, the promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. It is a promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. Let me try a little thing. Maybe that might work. Okay, it won't do that. Okay, that's fine. It is a promulgation decree. Now, it is looking more and more like that decree is meant for Southerners. Because anybody, you 400, you had the Navy Commodore. He said yesterday, just yesterday, he said that 400 Boko Haram were arrested and they were not prosecuted. Quote me. We can go and play the video. I played it yesterday. He said 400 Boko Haram. He personally was involved. Navy Commodore Kunle Olawumi said that. And I played it live yesterday on Oduduwa TV radio. And we spoke about this. And he said the Boko Haram, they've not been prosecuted. They were not put through the court process. Now, the 12 who are right now in the court process, you heard what he said about Lady K. Lady K is being forced to change. Are you not outraged about this? To change in front of men. Let's think about that. That could be your sister. It could be your wife. It could be your daughter. Are you not outraged? Are you not outraged? I am. You can hear the outrage in my voice. Are you not outraged? You should be outraged at what is going on. We should not be silent. This is why we are telling you Contraption Nigeria is a fraud. And I'm categorically telling you, the rules contained, because they are rules. It's not a constitution. They are rules. Promulgation decree is rule, is edict, decrees, decree number 4, decree number 24 of 1999. That is what we are being ruled by. Those rules are meant to apply to Southerners. The Fulanis, as far as they are concerned, it doesn't apply to them. Do you know why? Because it is not Sharia law. It is not Sharia law. And we have to all be very, very clear. Those of you that keep espousing one Nigeria, this is the clearest evidence. 400 Boko Haram arrested with proven crimes, offenses against the nation. They have not gone through the court process. Even as we speak today, this morning, we are hearing that they abducted children. I'm not talking about teenagers, children, toddlers, for 3 months. For 3 months. And when they were going to release them, the government paid them 68 million naira plus motorcycles. And you are telling me that we are in a nation? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You should be outraged. And they are telling us to believe in one Nigeria. We cannot continue to go on like this. So we must get out. Support lawyer Pelumi. Support the Abuja 12. Support everybody in the South. Because we are in a slave camp. Every indication, every indices you care to look at. Once you are a Southerner, the laws only apply to you. If you're a Fulani man, you can kill 1,000 Southerner. And you will get away with it. They have immunity. I like to refer to it as a diplomatic immunity. You see, if you are within that southern area and you're a Southerner, that law will not apply to you. But once you are a Fulani and you step into the southern area, you see, it's like you are a foreigner. So when the Fulanis they're viewed as special people who are coming to the South, once they step into the South, any crime they commit, they automatically get diplomatic immunity. Let's be very clear. This is what is happening. We need to say it. We need to say it like it is. We are slaves in Contraption Nigeria, and that is why we must get out. That is why we must get out. That is why we must get out. This is outrageous. This is I'm running out of words, but I'm telling you, do not believe the lie that we are under any constitution. Just look at the way they have tossed that same constitution into the bin. What they are going after is what Navy Commodore Kunle Olawumi said. They are going after their Fulani agenda, and there is nothing that will stop them except when we in the South stand together. We have got to understand the game at play here. We have to stand and have our resolve that as strong as they are committed to the Fulanization idea, that we in the South, we are collectively committed to ensuring that the South breaks away from contraction Nigeria, that we are not part of that Fulani agenda, that we are going for our independence as independent nations, Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, Middle Belt nation. Because what the court case here exemplifies and it shows, the government has contempt for the rule of law. And the rule of law, very important to understand this, the rule of law that they have contempt for is the one that is not Sharia law. They have contempt for the rule of law that is not Sharia law. And if you are talking about one Nigeria and you are a Southerner, you do not want to be in a nation where they are forcing upon you Sharia law. That is what is happening. And we have to say it like it is. Let's call a spade a damn spade. I'm sorry about this. Let's call it what it is. And this is outrageous. Every time I think about Lady K, I want this is not acceptable. That could be our wife. It could be your wife. It could be your daughter. It could be your mom. It could be your aunt. It could be your niece. It could be. Look, wake up. Southerners, wake up. This is not a joke. I was not in bed last night until about 2:30, and I'm up this morning. You know why I'm up? Because I am having nightmares about the killings, the oppression, the suppression of Southern people. Many other presenters are feeling the same way I am feeling. We are having a mental breakdown, if you like, but we have a strength of character to push through this and come and give you this information to make us all aware. But I have to say this because what the lawyer said is something we should all take cognizance of. We should all be aware. The government has contempt for its own rules. And the reason why the government has contempt for all of the rules, look at all of the positions. They are all Fulanis. And if you're a Fulani man, one of the things that you have to have belief in is 100% behind Sharia law. Let me say it again. If you are a Fulani man, the first thing that you have to have belief in, above all else, is the Sharia law. And anything else is secondary, including that fraudulent constitution. Let me also add something to this. That constitution was not written by a Yoruba man, by a Biafran, by a Middle Beltan. This was a constitution imposed by the Fulanis on us. They have taken control of our resources and they are oppressing and killing us in our land. We need to step up. We need to make noise. We need to raise as much noise as possible. We cannot be silent. All die and I die. You not hear me? I say all die and I die. All die and I die. Make we stand up now. If we not begin stand up for our right, say we won't come out, whether they like them or not, that we no go get a place where we go call home. Una dey hear me so? We no go get place where we call home. Now, one person say make we do fire for fire. I support them. What we should be doing now is encouraging our people to defend themselves, to stand up and go all out for self-determination. We must get that. The Fulanis cannot impose. The Fulanis must come to explain to us what document, where is the proof of the people carrying out a referendum that they are using to impose this fraudulent promulgation decree number 24 of 1999 on the rest of us in the South. They have to provide that. They haven't got that. They haven't got that. And that is what we're saying. They keep telling you to believe in a constitution in which you had no hand in creating. Let me say that again. The Fulanis are telling Southerners to accept a constitution in which they had no hand in creating. This was a military document. There is no referendum anywhere that they can show you that we in the South, Biafrans, Middle Belt, Yorubas, collectively voted to pass into law this fraudulent 1999 constitution. There is no document. I stand by that fact. I'm not a lawyer, but I can argue that they need to go and bring it out. And to come and tell us that Professor Awayadudu said we adopted. You do not adopt a constitution. You pass a constitution into law via a referendum. Very big difference. That's the fraud right there. We need to expose this. We need to not be silent. We demand that they release all of those 12 immediately. If the 400 Boko Haram who have been committing crimes, and the 400 Boko Harams, they said to Navy Commodore Kunle Olawumi that they are the people that are sponsoring them, they are in government. They are in government. My people, they are in government. They are in government. I'm sorry, I'm really emotional about it, but I'm trying to separate that. We have to be unemotional with these guys to a certain level. We need to understand something. That's why I'm here. We need rapidly, for those of you who are espousing one Nigeria, to understand that there is only one agenda for the Fulani government and the Fulani people. That one agenda is the Fulanization of the entire nation called Nigeria. That is the one single agenda. And they do not care the cost of lives that it will cost for that to happen. Navy Commodore Kunle Olawumi said, 10% of the population, 20%, 30%, 40%, it doesn't matter. They are going for the Talibanization, the Fulanization of the entire nation. That contraption called Nigeria. We must remove ourselves. So each and every one of us now, when we finish this broadcast, I urge you to begin to speak out. Go on your own platforms. Tell your people. Make them aware. Sign the NINAS forms. The proposed Yoruba Nation Constitution. Go to www.citizenay.org. Click on it. Download it. Start sharing it. Start making people aware. Start making people to stand up for their rights right there in Nigeria, in that contraption called Nigeria. We have the right to self-determination. And I want to say a word, say something to those who we call Southern leaders. Our Southern leaders, what is going on right now? What is going on right now is unconscionable. I am so disappointed in the people that we call leaders in the South. I am terribly disappointed that they are saying exactly, stop preaching peace. No. This is not about preaching peace. No. That we don't. This is what I'm saying. We're not preaching peace. I'm saying we go out and go for what is ours. We do not wait. The Fulanis, they are not going to stop until they dip their Quran in the Atlantic Sea by Lagos. That is what Navy Commodore Kunle Olawumi, he said that on Channels TV 2 days ago. And I played it back. I played back every single part of that broadcast and I dissected it and I broke it down. Many of you will now be aware that there's a place called Amadu Bello Way. Amadu Bello Way in Lagos. It is the last road before you get to the Atlantic. It is symbolic because it refers to the name of Amadu Bello, who talks about Nigeria is the estate of his grandfather. No way. It is time we say that estate does not include the South. Period. That estate does not include the South. We must say that categorically. We must say that categorically. That estate, the estate that Amadu Bello is referring to, does not in any way, shape or form, in any manner include the southern part of that contraption. We are independent and we must claim our independence. Nobody has given, we have not given the powers for our own land or over ourselves to the Fulanis. They have come and lied their way into power. They are guests in our shores. We need to state those facts. And it is time those of us in the South, our leaders in the South, they need to own up to this. They need to answer our questions in the South. We have got one thing I want also the Navy Commodore said, Navy Commodore Kunle Olawumi, he said, these are his words. He said that many of the people who are sponsoring Boko Haram, they are in government today. They are governors, they are senators, they are ministers, they are department heads, they are director generals. Many. He didn't say a few, he said many. So we need to start asking ourselves, who and who in the South has our governors today? Are they supporting Boko Haram? What does that tell you? Who and who? Which governor? Which House of Reps? Which senator? Which minister? Which director general? Which of them, Southerners, are supporting the oppression of their own people? We need to understand, highlight who these people are, and begin to question them. Not only that, we must begin to, I urge you all, please go and sign rapidly, urgently, immediately. Go and sign the NINA's referendum, demand for referendum. We've pinned it somewhere. Others will have it. I think I've got it. I had it somewhere, but anyway, try and, if you haven't, somebody can pin that up. Just type in NINAS, NINAS. That is it. Type it and it will come up with the referendum. You need to sign that. This is not a joke. You know, like of stand. Look, Adebamiji, Adewale, Sherifudeen. Please, is it not possible to meet the Yoruba elites in the likes of Sands and professors to work towards SSS office? So far, the court has released. So far, the court has released them. No, he has not. They have not released them. They've not released them. That's why the courts are here. Now, let me just say something. You know, when I talked to you a few minutes ago, when I said to you that the Fulani cabals and the Fulani hegemony, the entire Fulani structure, they don't recognize our laws. The same applies. You see, they're playing this game. They use our well-learned senior advocates of Nigeria to come and fight cases for them because they know they will win. It doesn't matter. They let them win. They're still in control. And here's one thing I want to say. Once they make the whole of Nigeria a Fulani sultanate, your senior advocate of Nigeria qualification or your accolade, it will be ripped into shreds. I showed you that particular thing yesterday. Because they will eradicate Western laws. Simple. It is. I've showed you the paperwork, and you can go back and play the video. I'm not going to play that now. I just haven't got the time to go into it now. But that is what we're saying. Let me see if I can do something as we are live on air, as you're with me now. I wonder if I can do that. I wonder if it will let me do that. Will it do that? Let me just show you. I want you to just go to Nina's right now. Because I'm not able to do the changes that I wanted to do immediately. Oh, it won't let me change. Okay, let me see. Is that what it is? I'm looking at that. 1 minute. Let me just check something. But just bear with me, please. I'm trying to see if I can get away with something, but it doesn't look like. Okay, I might be able to. So let me show you something. Whilst I'm here now, I'll bring this across. I want to just show you. One of the things that it's time now is for us. We have to take individual action. So type in, if you can see this now, I hope it comes up. I think it is coming up, yes. Type in Ninas. Just type in Ninas, and it will come up. What I want you to do right now, in our millions, let's us see how many people have signed it so far. So let's go on here and look at Ninas. It's important. We need to take action. We cannot wait. You can see that the government, they will carry on with this oppression regardless. Now it says 112% of action taken so far, a new goal of 80,000. So we still haven't reached. I don't know what's going on. We need to look at that a bit closely. And when I finish this call, I'm actually going to make a few phone calls to a few people to ask some questions about this Ninas, because I want them to give us accurate, up-to-date figures so we know what we are how far we're doing, so we can track our progress within that. We got only a few weeks left. What I want you to do is, nonetheless, you keep signing it. Just go, once you go to it, go to demand referendum, like I did. I went to the demand referendum. Let me see, it says menu. In the drop-down menu, you go into demand referendum. So I just want to just show you, so you see what you can do. So these are now about our steps. The question now, look, we mustn't consider ourselves powerless in this. No, it's our land. When we stand together collectively, they don't stand a chance. And that is what is important. By standing how do we stand together? Signing Nina's forms, reading the Nigerian, the proposed Yoruba constitution, for example, sharing that, going into towns and villages, making them aware, explaining to people that we have the right to defend ourselves in our property. In several states, they've been, this morning we've seen killings. People have taken people killed to in front of the state houses in some states, and this is happening daily. Now it's time for us to defend ourselves. We must say that we are not like I said. Show me one Yoruba man that has gone to the north and killed anybody. I'll wait. Show me. You won't find any, because we do not. That's not how we do things. Even those who are not educated, they don't do that. But the Fulanis, they actually teach their children that all parts of Nigeria belong to them. The Fulanis will come and claim land in the south. But if you dare try to do that as a southerner in the north, they will kill you and your family and nothing will happen to them. And that is why you should know that one Nigeria is a lie. It is a big lie. So I'll stop that for 1 second. Let me just go into this now. So once you get into the menu, demand referendum, once you click on that, you now go downward. And here, you now put your name, you put your first name, last name, location, Nigeria. You don't have to have an email address. You have an option for telephone number. You fill that in. You fill that section in, and then you put your local government area and the alliance block. So in the alliance block, very important, you're in Yoruba land, Middle Belt, Lower Niger, South, Lower Niger, Southeast, South. So you put that down. That is so they can monitor which part of it is completing these forms. These are really important things that we should all consider. So please, I urge you, please go ahead. Make sure you fill this in. It is very, very, very important. It is extremely important that you do so. Now, so then we will see, and then of course, when you get to the end, click on I accept all terms. Write something in here so you can write, I support the demand for referendum 100%. So let me put that down. So you could write something like that. I support the demand for referendum 100%. For referendum. So let's just put it in here. So you can write something like that. Random 100%. So but I just wanted to just bring that along 100%. So and then you just type that in. Once you put that, then you click on submit. When you do that, your name should be added to the list above. Now, we are going to try and make some calls. When I finish now, I'm going to make some calls and I'll come back with updates in terms of the NINAs to see how that works, to be able to see if we can actually track that. Now, it may well be that certain information, they don't want that coming out. In that case, we will explain. It may well be. But like I said, those of you who are in the South, please fill it in. Also, an important tip, look at the search engine. When you're at the top, you want to fill in the NINAs that has got HTTPS at the top here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. Can you see it? No, you can't. Okay, let me see if I can drop that down for 1 second. I want you to be able to see what I'm saying. 1 second. I'm just going to drop that down. No, is it there? No, sorry, not that one. Not that. It's not going to affect that. It's this one. So let me just see if you can drop down now. Okay, now you can see that. Now I want you to see what I'm saying. So if you go into the search engine at the top there, I'm just so you can see what I'm saying. So if you go in here, I'm going to highlight it for you. You need to look for what is showing there. It's got to have HTTPS in it. HTTPS // NINASFFN.org. Once you have that, you know you are in the right place. And then you can complete the forms. If it doesn't have HTTPS, if it only has HTTP, it's a fraud. It's a fraud. So that is something we need to look out for. So we strongly urge you, please do that. Ẹ jẹ́ má bínú gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá. Yorùbá ló kí n bá sọ̀rọ̀ lókà sọ̀rọ̀ but àwọn bàtà ń sọ̀rọ̀ kí nìyẹn ó wá ní wọ́n sọ lédè èbò mo dẹ̀ fa ẹ mọ̀ ó dẹ̀ ká mi lára so mo dẹ̀ ń bá àwọn Biafra sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn Middle Belt náà sọ̀rọ̀ so kán lè mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ so ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ kínní gbogbo wa ní kínní kan wọ́n ti rẹ́ wa jẹ tó ẹ jẹ́ ká dìde ká jà fúnlẹ̀ wa aláti gbalẹ̀ wa ìdáàbòbò ẹ sọ fún gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní ìsìn kọ́nà dáàbòbò ara wọn o ìjọba wọn ò ní gbọ́wọ́ sí ìjọba ń gbé ìbọn lé wọ́n ń gbé ìbọn lé àwọn Fúlàní lọ́wọ́ kọ́ máa wọlé kọ́ máa pa wá o n tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn o ẹ jẹ́ ká bára wa sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ibi tọ́rọ̀ dé ń sìn nìyẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dáàbòbò ara wa àwọn agbógbó àwa táwọn lórí àwa sọ̀rọ̀ àwa táwọn lórí kíní àsùn òru àná mi ò sùn títí aago mo wà lórí kíní títí aago 2 àbọ̀ lánàá mo tún ti jí láàárọ̀ yìí a tún ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo wa náà ni ẹ má jọ sọ wa má jọ rẹ wa o so now just before we go ẹ jẹ́ kí n tún wá fẹ́lẹ́ hàn yín those of you who are in Yoruba land please go to this place watch what I'm doing closely I want you to go to www.citizenay.org. You will see come up. You can see that. So the blue thing there, I just accept that. Now what happens is you will come to this page. There's a reason why this picture is there. This is to do with Berlin Conference, and you can see there's a map of Africa, and that is the people who are sitting down here carved up Africa to what it is today. That's the message behind that, but I will come back to that later on. Now, let's go into the key thing. I want you to look at, it says the proposed constitution of Yoruba Nation. Proposed. This is not an imposition. A group of people have come and said, here is a constitution I would like you to look at, and you can make changes to. So now you go in and you click on that. Once you click on that, now you will now see Yoruba Strategy Alliance, and you got the letter. It says here via public dissemination, and it talks about the reasons why they have come up with the proposed constitution for Yoruba Nation. So you read that on, and then the actual document itself comes up, and in that document you will see what it says: proposed constitution of Yoruba Nation. So you will see that happening, and then it goes to the preamble, article, people's right, legislature, executive, judiciary, council of kings, interstate relations, article 7, depths, national supremacy, oaths of office, article 8, amendment process, article 9, adoption process, preamble, article 1. So it goes into detail. So it breaks it down. It's about 27 pages. I encourage you all, as many of you as possible, all Yorubas, to read this document. Go and read it and be willing to ask questions. The group, their email address is group@yorubastrategyalliance.org. If you download it, that information is contained within the download. So you can have all this information. These are things, these are practical steps that we must take as Yoruba people. And there are a lot of good things within this. So your right to life is protected, for example. Citizens can hold title is an example. Let me just see. A right to meaningful healthcare. Right now, it is non-existent. That is what you can get as a benefit when we go for Yoruba Nation. Your right to meaningful healthcare. It says in the Constitution, the government should endeavor to provide healthcare. But they are not providing it. They're not. But here, the key thing is when we get the Constitution and we make the amendment, all of us must make amendments and changes to it. Once we're happy, we now present it to the nation and we say to people, vote to support. A simple yes, I support the new Constitution. No, I don't support. So whichever of the two in Yoruba Nation wins in that referendum, it's called a referendum at that point. Whichever wins carries the day. If people overwhelmingly support the new proposed constitution, then that will now be a constitution that has now been voted into law. And it's not adopted. Adopted does not involve the people having a active participation. What we need is the active participation of the people in deciding the type of constitution they want. And they do that by way of putting up suggestions and ideas, and finally to vote on it. Each and every one of us over the age limit, over that age limit that would have been set within the law. These are the kind of things that we should be talking about. So I'm bringing this up so that people are aware. So please do bear with me if I'm talking about this in English. But sometimes when you're talking about this thing, this kind of constitution, it's often better to do it in the language where it's been written. And another key thing to mention, two more proposal yìí ọmọ túmọ̀ ẹ̀ sí Yorùbá adẹ̀ ti bí wọn ọ̀dẹ̀ láwọn máa ṣe wọ́n á ṣe é sí Yorùbá. So ìyẹn ni mo fẹ́ bá wa sọ mo ń bọ̀ bóyá àwọn kan fẹ́ béèrè àwọn ìbéèrè kan mi ìmọ̀ tá a bá ṣe kí n ṣí òpó lẹ̀ ká sáré sọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀ tó bá ṣe é ṣe mi ìmọ̀ tí ẹ jẹ́ wo fóònù kí n má tún lọ ṣe bákan cause ẹ má bínú àwọn èèyàn máa ń pè wọlé ṣe pé wọ́n máa ń send message tí má ti tàn báyìí ṣe ló kàn máa láàrin ìṣẹ́jú méjì ó ti block ẹ sọ ẹ má bínú mo fẹ́ wádìí ná so but mo kàn fẹ́ ẹ bá wa ká kíní yẹn so ẹ má gbàgbé ẹ bá wa kà ó ṣe pàtàkì gan ni ẹ bá wa kà ẹ bá wa yẹ̀ wò ẹ jọ̀ọ́ so mo kàn fẹ́ wo nǹkan táwọn èèyàn kọ ká tó kásẹ̀ ètò ńlẹ̀ àmọ́ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé ìjọba wọn fi àwọn méjìlá tí wọ́n yẹ kó filẹ̀ wọn filẹ̀ o òun ni ó dá wa ìyẹn la ṣe ń jáde sìn gbogbo wa ló dẹ̀ kàn sìn gbogbo àwọn yẹn wá ń lé ẹ jẹ́ ká sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ oníkálùkù ká dáàbò bo ara wa ni torí àwọn Fúlàní wọ́n ń gbìmọ̀ láti ṣe wá léṣe ìbọn wọn nìyẹn wọ́n kàn wọlé pẹ̀lú ìbọn ìjọba dẹ̀ ń pèsè bọ́ fún wọn ìjọba ló ń fún àwọn Boko Haram lówó àwọn navy commodore wa Kúnlé Ọláwùnmí wọ́n ti sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kódà wọ́n sọ pé àwọn ṣetán pé tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ gbẹ̀mí wọn kò ṣe nǹkan kan pé àwọn máa sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀rí pọ́rọ̀ ti sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ àṣírí ti tú ibi táwa nìyẹn o torí náà ẹ jẹ́ káwa náà mọ̀ ká tètè yá ṣe kíni káyà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní dáàbò bo ara wa nílé ni o lóko ni o ní lọ́jà ni o ní abúlé ni o ibikíbi tá a bá wà láwa Yorùbá nílẹ̀ wa àwọn tó lè wà lókè wọn lọ́hùn ẹjọ́ ẹwà bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa tètè torí àwọn arábí yìí ẹ ti mọ mi ò fẹ́ fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ti mọ ohun tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ yẹn so ẹ jẹ́ ká wo láti gbalẹ̀ wa padà wọ́n ti kó wa sóko ẹrú pátápátá àdá láti gbára wa kúrò ń bẹ̀ kì í ṣerú ohun tí mi fẹ́ sọ nìyẹn ẹ jẹ́ kí n wá wo bá ṣe máa gbé mo kàn fẹ́ sẹ́yìn bóyá lè sọ̀rọ̀ fún ìṣẹ́jú mélòó kan mi ìmọ̀ tó bá bọ̀ sí ṣóhun rẹ̀ ẹ̀hún náà ni ń bọ̀ ok ẹ má bínú mo ti tẹ̀ nǹkan kan so kò jẹ́ kí n gbé mi nílé ìgbé kan yẹn fún ìṣẹ́jú kan but ok ní ṣe kọ́ọ̀lù nsìn so a máa dúró báyìí ná ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo rọ gbogbo àwa ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ lọ download proposed constitution yẹn tẹ bá ti lọ ẹ máa rí méjì eléyìí tí wọ́n fi ń kó wa sí oko eléyìí tó kó wa sí oko ẹrú ó wà nísàlẹ̀ eléyìí tí táwa fẹ́ tí a máa gbé wọlé pé tí a máa fi síwájú gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí a máa dìbò lórí ẹ̀ ó wà lókè òun ló ní colour blue yẹn tẹ bá ti tẹ̀ á gbé yín lọ sí ibi tí a fi kàn yín yẹn mo gbà á ní ìmọ̀ràn fún gbogbo apẹ́ ẹjọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ kà á àwọn kan máa ṣe ìtumọ̀ ẹ̀ a máa gbé wọn wá máa ṣàlàyé fún wa lórí ẹ̀ so mo kàn fẹ́ kí n sọ yẹn náà ni mi ò rò pé a máa tún lè sọ jù báyìí lọ́sìn bá ṣe máa ṣe a máa dá ètò a máa mú ètò wá sí òpin báyìí ẹ ṣeun gan ni lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ kò ní sùwà kò ní rẹ̀ wá o iṣẹ́ pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa dẹ̀ ní kíní ìkan ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀ ó ṣe pàtàkì àtúmọ̀rin yín bá ẹ ṣeun o àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ká tó lọ ẹ jẹ́ kí n wò tí má lè ṣe kíní yẹn ká tún sáré kọ orin ìbílẹ̀ yẹn díẹ̀ ká tó máa lọ ọ̀hún dáná ń bọ̀ ṣé òun nìyẹn yà. So, ẹ̀yin èèyàn, ẹ ṣeun gan ni. Thank you all for joining us for this impromptu broadcast. It was from the lawyer who was handling the case for the 12 Abojia people. One of the things that you need to remember, nǹkan tó ṣe pàtàkì ká gbogbo arántí Lady K, wọ́n jẹ́ níyà. Ó ń láti máa bọ́ṣọ ní hòhò láàrin àwọn ọkùnrin. Ilẹ̀lẹ̀ ló ń sùn. Wọn ò jẹ́ kó pààrọ̀ aṣọ. Àwọn lọ́yà tá a rán pé kọ́ lọ bá wọn. Wọ́n sì ní aṣọ yẹn lọ́wọ́ wọn ò jẹ́ kán pààrọ̀ aṣọ ẹ jẹ́ ká bára wa sòótọ́ àwọn náà bí yìí fìyà jẹ wa a gbọ́dọ̀ dákẹ́ a gbọ́dọ̀ gba kínní ẹ̀yẹ jẹ́ ká wò ṣé tán máa sọ pé ọmọ tiwa ni kí la fẹ́ ṣé a máa gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká ríra wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ìyá àti bàbá kan náà o ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ wà nìyẹn o torí nǹkan táwọn Fúlàní ṣe síra wọn nìyẹn wọ́n ń tọ́jú ara wọn kò sí iye àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá àbí Ìgbò àbí Middle tí wọ́n lè pa àwọn Fúlàní wọ́n dúró tí wọ́n lẹ́yìn gbọ̀ngbọ̀n kí làwa ń ṣe ẹja abira wa o kí làwa ń ṣe ṣé àwa ń dúró gbọ̀ngbọ̀n tira wa pé a gbọ́dọ̀ gbà o wọn gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kan ìkànnù àwọn ọmọ wa tó máa fọwọ́ kan kọ́nù wọn gbogbo wa náà fọwọ́ kan nìyẹn ṣé àwa ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹja rò àsìkò tó kàbẹ̀ sí ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tá a bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ká ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí sọ̀rọ̀ mi yẹn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn àárí ju báyìí lọ àtúmọ̀rí báyìí sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ṣeun ó dìgbà kan náà. ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ orin ìbílẹ̀ ká fi ṣe àlọ́. Bọ̀. ẹ ṣeun gan ni o ó dìgbà kan náà a tún máa rí yín bá tí ó bá dẹ̀ ṣe é ṣe tá a bá ti gbọ́ nǹkan kan a tún jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ ẹ ṣeun gan ni o a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ó dìgbà kan náà ó dàbọ̀. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí YouTube náà ẹ ṣeun lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín ẹ kú àdúró tí gbogbo wa kò ní sí wa kò ní rẹ̀ wá ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀síwájú ẹ ṣeun ó dìgbà kan náà.